I'm Steve Bohek, work for Red Hat. I work on the Openshift storage marketing team. Actually, I run Openshift storage marketing. But I'll do a quick flyby. But before I do that, a quick survey. I think we did some of these surveys already, but let's just reset. Who's running Kubernetes? I know it's a dumb question. I'm going to ask it anyway. Keep your hands up, please, because I want to. Of you guys running, who's running bare metal? Okay. Who's running in VMs? Okay. Different survey. Who's familiar with Red Hat Openshift? Okay. Yeah, keep your hands up, please. Of you guys, do you know that we have storage products from Red Hat? Okay. That's what I'm about to expect. All right. One of them is Openshift Container Storage. So Openshift Container Storage is actually based on Gluster. I'm assuming you guys are probably somewhat familiar with Gluster, one of our other storage products. It is, we kind of say it's the de facto storage for Openshift, not surprisingly since it's called Openshift Container Storage. It has two, without getting too deep into the weeds, it's got basically two basic deployment models. One is the traditional kind of hyper-converged, which I think we've talked about several times today, that actually runs on the same infrastructure that you run on Openshift, whatever that is and wherever that is. And then the other one is actually kind of more of like a go-between if customers want to use their existing traditional storage with their Openshift deployment. This can actually be run between the two to help establish some of that dynamic provisioning we've been talking about throughout the day. So those are the kind of two basic ways to use Openshift Container Storage. The lion's share of people tend to do the first one, which is hyper-converged. Because one of the things that happens as our guys are out talking to customers around Openshift in general, you know, that tends to be new deployments where they're starting fresh, and in those situations, it's best probably to think about storage in the beginning and probably just use that hyperconverged and just deploy a new storage model with that Openshift deployment when it's launched. So that's like the lion's share, I would say, of the time of what we see. But like I said, it's built on Gluster. Scales into petabytes. It is actually developed, optimized, or developed and maintained in sync with the Openshift versions itself. And what I mean by that is, you know, latest version is Openshift 3.11, right? The latest version of container storage is 3.11. So they're announced and kind of developed in sync with each other. The only other quick caveat I'll say is that I mentioned it's based on Gluster. That doesn't necessarily mean Openshift Container Storage does not equal Gluster. In other words, there are differences between the two products, but its foundations are Gluster. And then the last thing, of course, and this is a lot of customers like it. It is, you know, one vendor to call for your entire container deployment on Openshift, whether it's the storage part underneath or the actual, of course, container orchestration environment. And then the last thing I'll say before I go to my next slide is that don't think of this as necessarily just the application data I'm talking about. There's also storage that Openshift itself needs and uses as part of the infrastructure, right? Metrics, logging, and the registry for where the images are. All that can run on Openshift Container Storage and does in a lot of our customer installations. This is a kind of a quick flyby slide, but we've talked about this. I think throughout the day, like I said, anywhere Openshift runs and is deployed, Openshift Container Storage can run and be deployed in that same place. And these are some of the options. Many customers, I think, as we've heard and seen today, are kind of running both of them for various reasons or a combination thereof, as I think Aaron mentioned earlier. It's the hybrid approach. All right, in the interest of time, just real quick, in terms of where can I try it out or play with it, we actually have an Openshift test drive. That's what this is talking about. And then Openshift Container Storage is like the foundational element of it. So you're kind of playing around with both of them as you do test drive. I can't remember what, I think, yeah, it's 8 hours complimentary on us to try it out. So it's linked in the slides. You can go there and check it out. And then lastly, all the different places you can kind of hear and see what we're talking about. I think I put my Twitter handle on the first slide. I've been tweeting throughout the day, and I tweet a lot about what we've got going on. But feel free to connect with me afterwards, and thanks for your time. Appreciate it. Nice to meet you.
Thank you. And thank you for your honesty. I know you saw what happened.